on the fence are true believers. They'll believe literally anything. And there's other people on the other side who are just absolutely skeptic and just like, nope, everything has an explanation. None of this stuff is real, blah, blah, blah. You cannot be that way. You have to look at the evidence, because there's some stories like, especially we covered here, which also will go back to when we talk to this, mainly it's the Roswell case, which it's the main one, is that you looking at the evidence is just like you trying to figure out, okay, this was not an extraterrestrial aircraft that fell from the sky in Roswell, New Mexico, but it damn sure wasn't a damn weather balloon or the other two explanations the United States government gave in the 90s. It wasn't those. It's something else. It's a secret government. What I believe it crashed in Roswell, something did crash in Roswell, and it was United States government technology, possibly stuff that was captured or plans that were captured from the Nazis after World War II that they were trying to test out and don't want people to know about, that they're probably still using today. Might be stealth technology, might be something we never even heard of that the U.S. military is using. But it wasn't a alien craft from another dimension, another world, or a weather balloon. So, but I've talked a little too much. Let's hear. Yeah.
I mean, and what these types of alien autopsy stories puts me, of course, as you said, in the mind of is whether or not there's an existence of alien life. And I guess for me, I do assume that there is. I do assume that it would be real hard for there not to be.
Yeah.
And I guess, like I said, I start off with saying there is. I don't need any proof for it. I mean, shit, we're here.
Yeah.
It's got to be somebody that says, ain't nobody on that dumbass third planet. Like, that doesn't even exist over there. All the water, so everybody's just swimming. Just got people just swimming all over the place. You know what I mean? So I think it's, I don't know. I think it's one of those things where I don't think enough of just humanity or any other life form that we have on this planet that we know about. Because there are plenty of life forms that we know about that we can't see. Anybody ever, in terms of microscopic type stuff and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
The little things that live with us in our bed that I hate thinking about at all ever, but they're there. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, exactly.
And it's I kind of think of it the same way. Kind of like your fourth kind to what's that M. Night Shyamalan Signs.
Yeah.
Right. But now the only thing about especially something like Signs, though, and even something like, the Roswell stuff, or even something like this Alien Autopsy, is they look a little too human for me. That's the only reason why I don't necessarily believe in those particular things, because if there's something on another planet, they can't look anything like us. They can't just have, 2 legs, 2 arms. Yeah, that's crazy. That's impossible. Why? I guess not possible, right? But why? That would be depressing.
Yeah.
you got to be able to do better than that now. Come on.
Yeah, especially like how pop culture, and even like people who say they had some sort of contact with extraterrestrial beings, they seem to be humanoid. And you like thinking about it like critically is like, why would a species from a different planet or a different dimension look anything like us or have any features that we have? Yeah. Why would they look something like totally different? Like I don't know. Yeah. It's too what's the word? Too convenient. There we go. Yeah. Too convenient that they would look. Yes. Yeah. They would look like that. So, and especially with this one, especially with this autopsy, because this thing looked like, if people were don't remember this or didn't see it, there's some footage of it, not the whole special, but footage of it on YouTube. You can look at it after you listen to us, or you can turn the sound off and look at it while you're listening to this episode if you want to. But this thing looked like a child.
Right.
It looked like a child. Then you figure out, oh, this is how you made it. It was like, yep, okay. Okay.
And I just gotta say, shout out to Jonathan Franks
Yeah.
from the TV show. I watched that just because I was a Jonathan Franks fan for no reason other than Star Trek.
Yeah. That's the only
Uh,
thing he was in. That's
that's,
all I
hey, you
know.
don't know that he's a director. He's a
Yeah.
writer. You don't
Yes,
know.
he directed Star Trek
Yeah,
episodes.
you
He
don't know.
directed.
Don't you talk about? Don't you talk about Jonathan
I'm
Franks?
not talking about him because he directed probably what I thought was one of the best Star Trek films, besides like Wrath of Khan or the I guess it's not a remake, it's alternative universe Star Trek with Chris Pine and the new cast. He directed, I think, First Contact, and I really enjoyed First Contact because Star Trek Generations kind of bored me to sleep a little bit.
I feel like we have to let everybody know what Nick and I are going through right now is a battle. We are going through a Star Trek battle. You may not be familiar with it. You may not even get it, but it's happening.
Yes,
knuckles are being clicked over here. It's happening. I don't know if you can hear it, but a fight is gonna happen any minute.
Pretty much, yeah. And I'm not even a Star Trek fan. I'm Star Wars all the way.
It's not two different things. Star Wars all day today, literally all day.
Was it on TNT? Was it on
Yes.
TNT? Yes.
Yes, it was.
See, I was at Comic-Con, so
TNT 1 to TNT 2, back forth.
Yep, it's pretty much it's TNT. Either they play AEW wrestling, or they play the Marvel Cinematic Universe, or the DC Extended Universe, or Star Wars. It's just and then Claws, the final season.
I have to start watching Claws. I haven't watched a single episode yet.
Me either.
It's on Hulu, but I can't pay for one more thing. Anyway. Right. That was the first time I had seen anything about this. Was actually on the Jonathan Franks show.
Yeah.
I'm like, did people? And it's fear, right? I thought,
yeah.
Did people actually believe this stuff? And it's basic fear of the unknown.
Mm-hmm.
And the way people deal with it is, the belief that the unknown can be controlled and captured and figured out.
Yeah, I mean, this had a lot of viewers. I'll give people a short summary of how this, like the actual special and stuff. So the Alien Autopsy video, like we said, it was a 17-minute black and white film showing a supposed autopsy of a captured alien being. And 1947 they tried to and it was released in 1995 by a London-based entrepreneur named Ray Scantilli. He presented the footage as an autopsy of a body of an alien recovered from the 1947 crash of a flying disc near Roswell, New Mexico. The film footage was allegedly supplied to him by a retired military cameraman who wished to remain anonymous. The story that Santilli had given that he was making a documentary on, I think, Elvis and musicians. Let me see if I can find that. He was looking for a footage on Elvis Presley and other musicians, and he was doing for another documentary. And he was in Ohio, and he came across this guy that he thought had rare footage of Elvis performers and other rock and roll performers of the early 50s and up to the late 60s of musicians and performances. And this guy who Santilli refuses still to this day to name, hands him a video. Well, not a video, film footage, a couple of cans of film, and says to watch this, and he ends up watching it. And it's supposedly this 17-minute alien autopsy video. He changes the story years later when he admits that this is a hoax. I hate to be a spoiler alert to people, but it's a hoax. But that's the initial story that he given when he sold the footage to a UK, I believe it was Channel 4 in the UK, who in turn contacted Fox. When he sold the footage, but I believe he first showed the footage at a film festival, and a couple of executives from a British TV show had saw it. And Ray Santilli said this was real. So he said it was real, and they ended up trying to get money for it. And they were like, look, we need to put this all around the world. They contact Fox stations in Fox in the United States, and television station in Canada, all across the world, and they're able to get the money for this distribution. And when we first learned about it in the United States was they put in advertisements for this Alien Autopsy video. Mm-hmm. And on August, what was the date? Let me bring up the date. Sorry. August 28th, 1995, this titled Alien Autopsy Fact or Fiction premiered on Fox. The program caused a sensation, with Time magazine declaring the film had sparked a debate with intensity not lavished on any home movie, since the Zapruder film. Mm-hmm. Everyone knows what the Zapruder film is. Fox rebroadcast the program twice, each with higher ratings, with the November 1995 broadcast winning its time slot again with 11.7 million viewers.
Wow.
So some parts of the broadcast, a lot. That's a lot of people. That's just the November 1995 version. I think the initial release was somewhere close to 20 million. Throughout the broadcast versions, some parts of the autopsy were pixelized or edited out because of its supposed graphic nature, and early versions of it still contained this pixelation. Santilli claimed a complete and unedited film in addition to previous unreleased footage of the wreckage, which was presented as the remains of the alien craft reported to have crashed in Roswell. Mm-hmm. So also, because they have to make this an hour-long special, the Fox program features numerous well-known figures both in front and behind the camera. Interviews with experts on the authenticity of the film included Oscar-winning special effects makeup artist, the late Stan Winston, cinematographer Alan DeVue, and noted forensic pathologist Civil Witt, who considered the autopsy procedures of the film to be authentic, but stopped short of declaring the being an alien.
Okay.
Stan Winston was how the Fox program presented Stan Winston's point of view is that this could be real, but I'm leaning towards it could be fake, but I really don't know. Stan Winston, in the group that they interviewed, said later that their reactions and what was presented in the Fox special was distorted. They said it was unequivocally a fake. They were like, this is a good fake.
Not distorted.
No, not distorted. It's a fake.
That's not.
Yes. Like, this is not a bad. Like, this is a fake. It's a good fake, but it's a fake. Also, UFO author and investigator Kevin D. Randall was on the special, and also he said that this was a fake, but his presentation on the Fox specials was distorted also. I think he was mostly on the fence too. Film director John Jopkins was erased by producer Robert Kent. Was engaged, by producer Robert Kent to direct several portions of the Fox special, including Santilli's interview. He's also interviewed on the show. Jopkins had stated that he became immediately suspicious upon meeting Santilli in London, and after conducting further investigations, told both Fox and Kevin that he believed the whole thing was a fraud. He described their response. He later described their response as, it was then made clear to me that if the footage was exposed as a hoax before the show aired, the ratings would suffer. Jopkins was enlisted the services of his friend, a well-known private investigator, William Deere, but according to Jopkins, Deere was held back by the producers for fear the hoax would be exposed before the air date and was limited to investigating the identity of the mystery cameraman.
Okay. They kept everybody safe.
So, yeah, that tells you at the beginning that the people at Fox, like the director, had let Fox know that this was a hoax, but Fox only gave a damn